Here are three chainsaws I wanted to talk about quickly and just share them with you. We had the green one out today. It just got serviced and just fired it up and just took out a small little kind of, not stump, but small kind of leftover of a pine tree that needed to come out. So as we were reorganizing the shelf that these belong on, I thought, hey, let's just talk about them. So first off, this is a homelite, I believe. Yeah, electric, and not battery, electric. And I want to say, whoops, sorry about the camera work there. I want to say it's a 13-inch. And I got this at the time when I first moved into this location back in 2010. So it's 14 years old and it doesn't owe me anything. I didn't have much money then, but I had a lot of trees and a lot of time. So I definitely cut down a lot of trees that were really overmatched for this saw, but I just hacked away, went through many of chains over time, and it never let me down. And what I like about it is it's really easy to service because it's electric. You know, you're spending your time, you don't even need any tools. You know, you can release this panel here. Obviously this is a Titan. So release the panel, this wing nut comes completely off. You clean out the inside, adjust the bar and slap it back together. So now it kind of gets light duty. And if it for some reason ever failed, I would replace it, but obviously with a battery one for the type of use it gets nowadays. It's basically like a glorified pruner or small trees if you don't want to bust out the gas one. This, moving along here, I believe this is a Poulan. Sorry about the camera work again. I'm trying to do two things at once. This one was given to my son by a family member, and it just needed really to be serviced, and it works really, really well. It is 14 inch, and does a great job. Gas, obviously. I think it has low hours on it from just using it for the first time before this recording, and it did a great job. It just felt like it had low hours on it. It wasn't vibrating all over the place. It wasn't gas everywhere because it's 2-cycle. Pretty easy to start, prime it 6 times. You have to kind of pay attention to what you're doing with this. Make sure the stop is in not stop position, which is a little confusing. And then your choke. And then it really kind of started up fairly easily, which is great because it's been sitting in the garage for a long time. And that's the thing with these 2 cycles. Like if you spin them up and service them, they usually just go right away after they get primed properly. So that one was free. Actually, going back to that one, that was a gift. So free and free. I don't know how old this is, and I didn't go searching for a date on it. But in between, really, so it was in between when I got this one, when we got this one, and when I bought this one. I bought this one around 2017. It's refurbished. It's a 15-inch because I went from that to that. And I felt like a completely different person. And it was refurbished, and I want to say I spent $500 on it, manufacturer refurbished. And I can't recall if that's what I spent or not, but for some reason that number sticks out. This has not let me down. I tend to burn through chains pretty quickly though, for whatever reason. Maybe it's the type of wood I'm cutting, the type of chain I'm using. But I have learned a trick from my neighbor. Just go on Amazon and keep a few spare chains, and you always have one to switch out. And I do have a couple spares. I've messed around with trying to figure out how to sharpen the chains, but I haven't found a good way to do that. Unfortunately, most people say just toss them, and I just hate throwing these things away. This metal, right? I don't know if you can really recycle these, or where would you even take the chain to recycle? If I had to do over again, because my neighbor had, I'm not sure if he still has, he has a Husky, and this is the 450 Rancher. His was even bigger than this, and he's loaned it to me a couple times just kind of for fun because it has a bigger bar on it. And this thing makes you feel almighty, but when you use his, it makes you feel like almighty and powerful because it has a bigger bar on it. So I think next time I would do that. If there's next time, these things, you take care of them, they last forever. And if you are not a rancher or a lumberjack, you probably have a finite number of trees to cut down anyway. So once you cut them down, maybe you're cutting down a limb now and again from your other trees if there's a storm or something. So you're not doing a ton of work with it. This one's can be a pain to start sometimes, but not brutal. And it has like the release there for the pressure. Same deal, you prime it, and then you got to deal with the the choke and all that, or that's the kill switch, I believe. So this works well, 2 cycles all around. This might be a little heavier, which would, I think they're about the same. Think they're the same? Not listening, I think maybe the same. So anyway, that's our collection here, and it's not really intended to be a collection. I would say it's our fleet. The one on the left, glorified pruner, one in the middle, my son's first gas-powered one, and then my actual first gas-powered one, except I wasn't 10 or 9 or whatever when I got mine. I was nearly 40. But last but not least, I was just reminded we have a true actual pruner. So this is my son's, and there's no battery in it. So this is clearly battery operated. This was a Christmas, I think, present to him, and it was a way to get him comfortable with using a chainsaw in a sense. This is it's like a hand. It's basically like an electric pruner, electric clipper, the way it functions, but it's to get him familiar with and comfortable with using one of these and responsible, and he sure is. So he's definitely ready for the red one, and once he can handle that, we'll go to the green one. But this on its own is a very handy tool, very, very handy tool, because now you don't need to even bring this one out. Just throw a battery in this, throw in your safety goggles, maybe your gloves, and just do a little pruning, or just get rid of those light sticks. So we're pretty fortunate that I went from starting at this location with that red one to do everything to now 4 different possible saws for really every possible case. And again, very fortunate. So we will take care of these, continue to service them, and use them for years to come. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you do.